The following program is rated TV MAL, TV MALS, TV MALSV. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Remember the 5th of November.
Yes, of course, November 5th, 1955.
What? I don't get what happened. Dad!
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to This Week in Bullshit. I'm your host, Justin Proper, and today we're not going to talk about any of the stuff happening in America because that's American shit, and we don't have time for bullshit right here, except for This Week in Bullshit and all the fun stuff that we have to say. But speaking of very fun people, I'd like to introduce a returning guest, Madmartigan. Madmartigan, how you doing? I can't hear a damn word that you are saying right now, but it's probably for the best.
No, you have me muted. I was hoping I was going to be first. I'm like, come on, man. Do the right thing. Bring me on first. Sorry, that's it.
You did it to yourself. You already ruined the intro.
No, you muted me.
It was muted for everybody.
I'm not doing this.
All right, bye. I love you, Madmartigan. I love you so much. But I'd like to introduce everybody to our guest of honor. He's a Hollywood insider, and he's an author and a writer. He's a great guy, Kamran Pasha. Kamran, how are you doing today, man?
Justin, I'm honored to be on, and thank you. I didn't realize I was the guest of honor. I thought I was just another dude, but I will take it. I will take it, and thank you very much, and I'm excited to be on, and hopefully it's going to be a fun show.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, guess you are a regular guy, but in terms of the stream, we don't have you on every week. So this week you are the guest of honor, someone who we're gonna have a lot of fun with, and you get to just join in on the fun, get away from the politics, get away from all the bullshit, because I know we deal with it all the time, and it's a great escapism for yourself, for the chat, for everybody, for all the shit that's been going on since Tuesday. So it's a nice break from that.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right. And hopefully this is approved by all of our audiences, but I especially hope that it is Dean approved, because it is Dean approved. Dean, how are you?
Hi, guys. I'm good. How's everyone?
Now we're great so far. Great so far. And we also have the beautiful, the lovely, the queen herself, Reina Creole, part of the Queen's Council. How you doing?
Doing great. It's the day before my birthday, so I'm excited.
Oh, happy early birthday to you.
Thank you.
We're going to have to remember at the end of the stream to sing you happy birthday in our typical fashion.
Typical fashion. Okay, I'm good with it. Let's find out the typical fashion.
That's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah. What we usually do is we just sit. You know what? Why don't we just do it once we do all the intros and just get it over with? We'll just do it. What we typically do is we just sing completely out of tune, completely like off key, and it's just great. It's fantastic. We'll do that in a second, but first, Wes Moody.
Hey, everybody!
He's looking at his phone.
Hey, Wes.
Texting during the stream. Sin on you.
There, it's out of sight, out of mind.
No, I'm messing
more
with
distractions, but I'm ready to have a great distraction with these amazing people on the panel and the best chat on YouTube, talking about fun stuff and making fun of Hollywood.
Absolutely. And speaking of really great guys, I can't say enough good things about this guy. Rob, everything Star Wars, entertainment in Star Wars, soon to be Rob Rules or something, or Rob's Rules.
Yes, you got it. How you been, everybody? It's a great panel, and a happy early birthday to you, Miss Creole. How are you?
Thank you so much. Doing great.
And all I know is your birthday will be Dean approved. That I know.
Very good.
All right. Shall we do it, guys?
Yeah. Let's go.
All right. Here it is. All right. 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Lorena.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Yeah,
birthday.
that was
hilarious. I love it.
happy.
Close to being in tune.
You guys kill me every time.
Guys, I love
Happy
that.
birthday.
Love it.
Every single time.
Introduce our new star. She's singing.
Happy birthday.
Aw. Oh, that was Maya. That's
And have you ever noticed the 3 flying pea eagles? They fly.
Okay. Thank you.
they
Don't
fly
answer.
now.
They fly now?
Facts.
Why now?
I mean,
Wow.
that's just facts.
I like it.
Way to upstage it there, Rob.
I was gonna
Well,
say.
I'm glad you enjoyed that, Lorena. Happy early birthday to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I sure enough did.
No one's safe from that. But all right, so we're gonna say hello to the chat, and then we're gonna get to our fun stories of the day. Dean Approved saying yo, and nothing else but that. But that's all right. Thank you. You don't have to do this every single time. I appreciate that. As long as the stream is Dean Approved, I greatly appreciate that.
It is Dean Approved.
Indeed, I'm very happy about that. Runner Studios just saying, hey. What's up, Runner Studios? Very good to see you. He's just going by Runner now. All right, cool. I like that.
Where is he running?
He's running everywhere. That's how he gets to work. That's how he. That's how he gets everywhere. He gets around that way.
Nightmare.
Wes Moody with that lovely super sticker. I wonder what that could possibly be. Oh, geez. Guess it's the poop one. Is it the poop one?
The poop one?
Well, I'm not.
It is the poop
It's
one.
the poop one.
It is the poop one. Thank you so much, Wes. Appreciate that. Stone Cold Jeremy, thank you for the super chat. Cheers, everyone, and smash the like button. Yeah, I agree. Definitely smash that like button. And cheers to you, Spartan Jeremy. I greatly appreciate that. Yeah, I know. Ghost Bear Time. Okay. Yeah. I got that. Thank you very much, Lorena, for the popcorn super sticker. You guys don't have to do this every time. I appreciate it.
I'm broke. I'm not giving no super stickers. Hollywood's been shut down for 8 months. I mean, somebody send me a super sticker. Come on, man.
Well then, make a channel, make some videos, and then we'll be happy to do that once you're monetized.
Or just register as a Democrat. Maybe you
or
could, that would
we
help.
can buy one of his books.
Yeah,
buy one of his books. It'll definitely help.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the links for everyone who's money in the chat, all the links are in the description. So definitely lead everyone to that. Theme Park Casual saying hello, everyone. Hey, all. What's up? Madmartigan saying Cootigan. I don't know why. I don't understand.
There we go. I switched. Pretty mad.
Mary Mayhem is here. She's my YouTube bestie. Is saying
Mary.
She's saying hi to Cameron, but nobody else. We understand.
Yeah.
I was on her channel on
I will
Wednesday.
take it. I will take it. I will happily take it. Thank you, Mary.
That is yeah. Soul Assassin saying happy early birthday to you, Lorena.
Thank you, Soul Assassin.
Yeah, Parrot Head as well.
Thank you, Parrot Head.
Subhuman is saying hello to Mary, but nobody else. Okay.
So rude. So rude today.
I love you, Subhuman. No, he's here most every week, so I appreciate it. Cecil is the hero we need, says Jeremy 5 Russia approved. Of course you do. I love Jeremy 5 Russia approved. Council of Jeremy's, yeah, it's going to be Saturday. It's a one-off reunion, so hopefully you're going to be able to join us. And Madmartigan with that peach emoji, you dirty son of a bitch. That's all I'll say with that.
They come in a can. They like come in a can. They're put there by a man in a factory downtown.
You're disgusting.
President of the United States of America. Come on.
I appreciate it though. YetiCast is saying hello to the chat, but not to us.
Hey,
I understand. What's up, YetiCast? He's a good guy. Memes of Destruction saying, "Hey guys, what's going on?
What's up,
memes?" Well, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Mary is happy. That's good. Look at all these lovely people. Oh yeah. Oh shucks. Look who's talking.
Love ya.
Look who's talking. All right, Fat Steven Seagal is up here. What's up? Nick Caba, one half of the Toxic Australian Twins, and also I think he has a channel of him for himself as well. So yeah, they both do. Okay, so
I always forget which one of them I like.
Both, yeah. It's a toss up, I guess.
Cool. Why are you hating on them?
Flip a coin and it'll end on its side right there. No, that's how it is. I think that's everybody that we see right now. Like, way to shame me into say hi to the panel. It's only because we love you. It's only because we love you.
Absolutely.
Hi everyone. You happy, Justin? I am now. What's up? Appreciate that. But for everybody who's sent a super chat, I greatly appreciate everybody who's here. Thank you so much. Smash the like button, all that fun stuff. Here's this. Oh, good memories right there. Good memories. To the time when Star Wars was great. I
prefer the Star Wars earlier editions where the Death Star blew up without the shockwave.
Yeah.
Oh, you like the 1977 version?
I like the shockwave.
I didn't know that was a thing. Actually,
that's the effect that I like, though. I like that.
The shockwave
like,
reminds me too much.
And then there's like a bunch of little sparkles going around, like the original version. Yeah, I respect that.
The shockwave reminds me too much of Star Trek 6. I like Star Trek 6,
but
Star Trek. Yeah, the beginning where Praxis blows up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Because the shockwave
is the one with the whales
now in all science fiction movies, and I actually think it was George's edited versions of the movies that introduced that really into how people do it now. But I'm sort of an old school guy, so
yeah.
Oh, yeah, Wes, I have to yell at you a little bit. Fat Steven says that you're ignoring him, and he's my assistant. So please do return his DMs.
DMing me?
Yeah,
I just recently watched.
What's wrong with you, Wes?
I told him I'll take his spot. Like, I don't know.
Lorena, I just watched your conversation with what's his face, the scripts doctor, and Fat Seagal is hilarious. Oh my gosh,
he's hilarious. Yes,
man, he is. Does he have a YouTube channel?
God no. Could you imagine what he would have on it?
But he needs to.
I'd watch it.
Steven Seagal has a couple of videos, I think.
He does?
Yeah. He sent me one today, which is fun. He has a couple interesting ones. So we're gonna get to some of the news of the stupid, and how can we start out without just pointing out some of the obvious?
Florida.
CDC says cruises can set sail again, but passengers will not be allowed on board.
What?
How the hell do you have a cruise without passengers? Is it just going to be the crew just hanging out there? Just
crew.
How do you do this?
Crew just to reposition ships? I don't know.
Well, I think actually a few of them were like not at their home port.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
So now that it's safe to go home. Sorry to ruin the joke.
They're stuck in some island somewhere or some other place. Wow. Okay.
If you get a VR headset and they'll have like cameras all over the place, you can just like virtually go on the cruise.
I'm just thinking about all the quasi partying that's going to be going on. Have you ever been on a cruise and have seen the crew on a cruise ship?
Oh, they get wild. They're like accountants at holiday, at Christmas parties. They just
It's so much fun. It's so much fun, especially when you see them on the shores and they have a day off.
Yeah, and
then you just party with them. It's great. It's great because they, they work their asses off and everything.
They do. Last time I was on a cruise, I think our cabin steward didn't sleep for days because every time I saw him, he was doing something and fixing something up in the cabin. And I had to argue with someone. I said, I would rather give him all the tip money than that maitre d' that only said hi to me once at the restaurant. The cabin steward gets all the tip money because he didn't sleep.
Sam, you're not alone. I have to roll my eyes occasionally to check if my brain's still working. This headline is so stupid. That's why we've included it. But This isn't it. We're not even into neck deep to this, or even knee deep.
This is what's going to save movie theaters. They need to give movie theaters the green light to open with no one in them.
Yeah, I got a lot of opinions on that. Yeah,
That's a good one. And this guy was ridiculous. Look at this. This driver was pulled over for transporting a snowmobile on the roof of their car. This is what it looked like.
Okay, I thought it was Polk County, Florida, there for a minute, and
you thought it was a Florida man story.
A Florida man story. Look at that. That's Florida.
I thought it was because it said Polk County, and there's a Polk County, Florida.
Oh no, this is Wisconsin.
I had to guess because there's some people have their snowmobiles, in storage in Florida. So
does it even snow in Florida?
It has on occasion, and it's hilarious to watch because people don't know what the frick to do.
I'd imagine so.
Can I tell you this? When I immigrated from Pakistan, I was 3 years old. It was like 1976, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you, one of my earliest memories was, I didn't 3 years old. I didn't understand what was happening. I said goodbye to my grandma, and I thought I was going to see her the next day, right? And I got on a plane. And, I was in Karachi, and Karachi was like 100-degree weather in Pakistan, right? Mm-hmm. And get on the plane, we get off the plane, and it was JFK Airport in January. Oh! And I've never seen snow before. So I see a desert, and then the next thing I see is this blizzard. And I remember the absolute sense of wonder as 3 years old of seeing snow and not knowing what it was. It was really remarkable.
That's cool.
I love hearing that. But now that you've been in the snow for a while, how do you feel about it now?
I went to school I went to college in New Hampshire, and I went to law school up in upstate New York, and they were cold. And I'm not in the cold, and so now I'm really pissed off because I'm in LA now for the last almost 20 years, and now suddenly it used to go from 80-degree weather to now it's in the 60s, and I'm like, hey man, whether it's climate change or not, I'm not into this, man.
LA weather is like what? Hot, wet and dry.
Yeah,
I think
I moved here for
Kentucky
55-degree weather at night. I didn't move here for that.
I think Kentucky was probably the coldest place I've ever been. I went to OSHA when I was in the military, and I was at Fort Knox, and it was so cold. When we would be doing these 30K, ruck marches and shit, and you would stop for water, and your sweat would freeze on your body. Eventually, no, we don't want to stop for water because everything, your sweat freezes on you. Yeah, it's a miserable place.
Dang, man.
Wow.
By the way, Stripes was filmed there, so I got to do the same obstacle course.
So is there any gold still in Fort Knox?
No?
There's nothing there. Okay, but do they have an alien spacecraft or something? There's got to be something in Fort Knox.
Well, look, all my knowledge about the gold at Fort Knox comes from Die Hard with a Vengeance, so I'm going to go with that. It doesn't have as much gold as that place.
Maybe
gold. We're going to at some point talk about Sean Connery, and that's Goldfinger, right? The attack on Fort Knox, right? So
plus the Bugs Bunny cartoons, he was breaking into Fort Knox. No, wait, he had Yosemite Sam breaking into Fort Knox.
I tell you what they do have. They have this
same guy who voices everybody, so it's easy to confuse.
When you're going to Fort Knox, there's strip clubs called Thoroughbreds, but there's 30 of them. So you'll be like Thoroughbreds number 7, Thoroughbred number 12, and it's just every 3 miles down the highway all the way to Fort Knox.
Oh God,
really?
That's pretty impressive. But yeah, I'm surprised that Fort Knox doesn't have gold anymore. And I understand that a lot of people have been suffering a lot lately, especially due to COVID-19. But I was kind of surprised when I saw this headline that let's get rid of this bullshit. A college in Bali is accepting coconuts as tuition.
What?
That's how.
What?
Yeah. Apparently, coconuts are an acceptable sort of currency for tuition based on.
Hey man,
coconuts.
We're going backwards. We're going to go back to barter, man. I'm telling you, it's all going back.
I can kind of get it because coconuts and coconut byproducts are used in a lot of.
It's specifically coconut oil that the people have a thing with. So because of that, because of the lack of the resources, that they're willing to work out a deal with some of the students. Yeah. I think that's a good start. That's a good start. Cool. But on the surface level, if you could pay your student loans with coconuts and your tuition, hell, everybody would do it.
I'd be raising coconuts like crazy.
I know. Be pretty great. Be pretty great.
But what is fascinating is that we are rediscovering the past because we've sort of reached such an edge of the future and it ain't working. And so now all going backwards to the old stuff, right? So we're rediscovering how does currency even develop? It develops as a means of exchange of value. We're rediscovering everything again in this generation. It's fascinating.
Yeah, that's strange how that works.
Well,
and thank you, Machini90, for the Doom of Corn, and thank you so much. The Doom of Corn, that's usually Culture Casino's thing, and I'm glad that you have adopted that for that stream. For this stream,
sound?
No, that's something that I will invite Mary on to do it herself. If she wants to.
Man, no one's gonna clip you doing it. Just do it.
Lorena can do it.
Oh, I can do it. Okay, I'm not as good as Mary, but doom. There you go.
It's better you than me to do it.
Oh, you can hit that note.
And thank you, Memes of Destruction, for the popcorn super sticker. I greatly appreciate that. That's so nice of you. And Nick McCabe is to say I have to duck out for now. Here's some cash for being amazing. Well, thank you.
Bye, Nick.
And you're as amazing as the people who are responsible for this. You're awesome. I love you so much. You're amazing. Live long and proper, my friend.
I really thought you were going to say he's as amazing as like his brother.
I'm not here to compare any of the toxic twins.
No, Nick's the good one.
Yeah. Again, not going to say a word about that. But that'd be nuts. But speaking of nuts, speaking of coconuts, speaking of nuts, we do have a Florida man person in the news. Something we covered on the channel before. Florida man, Florida principal was fired again for controversial comments on the Holocaust.
Again.
Why are you hiring
So what was
it? That's on them.
So let me clarify.
Well,
let me
first time, I guess.
Well, let me clarify the story. So when he wrote to a parent in 2018 that
was he against the Holocaust?
As a school district employee, he could not state that the Holocaust was a historical fact, and he said, "I was wrong." Of course, you were wrong on that. And he apologized, all that stuff. And then he was voted out of the school district. He was fired. And some people thought, it's a little too harsh. So they reinstated him. And then after some outrage, unanimously, he was let go. So
he didn't do anything again.
He didn't make any additional comments. But I felt like, hey, after we discussed him on the show, before. Figured we'd give you a little bit of update on that about the lunacy of that. Oh yeah.
I thought they fired him and hired him and fired him again. I was like, this poor guy.
That's what I thought too. I'm like, why the heck did they bring him back? But
that's kind of what he kind of did. They kind of they just said like, okay, you're hired, and then like, oh, you're fired for these comments. And like, wait, that's a little harsh. We'll bring you back. And then like, oh, people are upset about it. All right, we'll fire you again. That's kind of what happened.
Pretty much.
That's kind of what happened.
It's weird because I'm kind of on the Holocaust denier side on this. Like I feel bad for him. It's like, this is just like where our society is at. Anyway,
is it a term of like, are you talking about this is a way to save yourself right now because of what you just said? but no. No, honestly though, like if you're talking about like, like he misspoke and it was, taken out of context, I totally get that. And you're tugging at the heartstrings here.
Even if he meant it, like for him to have another chance, like we're just to the point to like whenever someone makes a mistake or is ignorant about facts, we just cancel them, we get rid of them, and we want them out of sight, and we never allow them an avenue to get back into the good graces of society. So that's why I'm saying I'm on his side, is because like, you toss him away and he's like, I've learned, I apologize, I actually read one of these history books that I'm supposed to be teaching. And then, they brought him back in, and they're like, yeah, but you still said it, so you got to go.
And in contrast to that, I know a couple of years ago, I was over in Germany, and do you know that it is a crime to deny the Holocaust? I found that out before I went over there, and I'm like, wow, you can't even say that there. And now here, some guy makes a mistake, he misspoke or whatever, and, canceled.
Yeah. Even if he meant it.
I'll just say, you got to learn your lesson. The great thing of that is that, like I said, gives somebody a chance to grow, right?
Yeah.
And like, oh, okay, now you're still, because, look, anyone can have even obnoxious opinions in their private life. You're in this situation, you're in public school, right? Just keep your mouth shut, man. I mean,
absolutely.
I've learned this lesson. Okay.
I just have this one thing to say. I mean, if he's part of the education system, I do kind of wonder what else does he believe, honestly. I'm not going to say full out fire him, but it's like,
it's very questionable.
Very. That's something where it's just like, how can you deny that with all the evidence? And
yeah,
I mean, I went to school with people who, some of their grandparents, were liberated from concentration camps. And my grandfather was over in Europe in World War II and was actually helped liberate some of those concentration camps. So I'm like, I knew that was real. I heard that was real.
It's the memes, man. It's the memes. They convince these people.
Crazy.
Right. And in these difficult times, this is the most political we're going to get on this stream.
Exactly.
Maybe
Read a book.
Maybe he failed history. I don't know.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this next headline, which I don't know if any of you've seen yet, but I just had to I could not even fathom it. Emotional support Canadians offer to help Americans stressed by the U.S. election.
Oh my gosh!
Just go send us Trudeau. All right, that's all I'm saying.
All right, look, we don't have to get political. I will say,
sign me up.
There's a somebody I follow, Roxana Hodges, her name, I think it's how to pronounce it, Hoge. She's great. She's in California. She did a wonderful, hilarious video about trying to give emotional support to somebody who was going through this election thing. And one of the great moments at the end, he's like, well, if Trump wins, I'm going to go to Canada. She's like, well, why don't you go to Mexico? He's like, Mexico? I ain't going to go to Mexico. Right?
Oh, yeah, I've heard that from people.
Where LA is. Look at where the LA mindset is right now.
I just feel like Mexico. What's about Mexico?
Mexico.
I don't know. It's pretty amazing, but I love how they emotional support Canadians like they're emotional support dogs. Like that's they're the emotional support sled dogs. I guess I just find that very ironic. Just like really. I don't know.
We can always count on our neighbors. Always count on our neighbors.
Yeah.
But this next one. Oh my God. I don't even know how to, there's no transition that's going to be suitable enough for this, but man, I hope you have Will Smith on hand for this. But an Indian doctor was duped into buying Aladdin's lamp for $93,000, as if he rubbed it and expected a Smurf to come out of it.
I would think if I'm going to pay $93,000, I'd at least want to test it, right?
Right. Like rub off the lamp first.
I just want to see. Can you demonstrate that there's a djinn coming out of this thing?
Where did he buy this, on eBay?
If there is a genie in this bottle, I feel like 93,000 seems a little low. What with having witches. Like that would be my first pick.
To be fair, it does look like the lamp from Aladdin, and some people would actually pay good money for that, just to have like that kind of a replica. But to actually
that's not a cartoon.
Yeah, it's not a cartoon. But to be duped into believing that this is Aladdin's actual lamp. I'm sorry, but what kind of a doctor are you?
Yeah, doctor. How can you?
First the principal, now the doctor. By the way, I'll be on his side if he's like 93,000. Yeah. I'll make that one of my first wishes. Like if he did it that way, if he put it on credit, like once I get the genie out and I get one of these wishes, you're gonna get your 93,000. I'd be on board for that. That feels.
Yeah, it seems more
That
reasonable.
could work. That could work.
That it definitely could work. But speaking of really insane and stupid doctors, this doctor, let's get this fucking shit out of the way. This doctor claimed that vaccine causes autism and chicken nuggets can help cure it, which I found very interesting. Because I think this Idaho man took it very literally and decided that he must have been autistic. This Idaho man busted for cooking chickens in Yellowstone hot springs.
I didn't see that coming.
Oh, it gets even better. It gets even better because it turns out, it turns out from 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, these chickens were stolen from a man who was recently jailed for having sex with chickens. And you know where this is going. You know where this is going. We have a picture of the perpetrator.
No.
Oh my God.
Nope. It's not showing right now, but you know where this is going. Let's bring up a picture of this guy right here. Okay, here we go.
Well, I have a question.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is this the same guy we talked about a couple weeks ago?
Are you just Googling?
Are you sure this isn't a Florida
news stories
Listen,
with chicken?
No, this is a real story. These are all real stories. November 3rd. This story, November 2nd. And it just happened to tie into what we talked about earlier.
So
I don't know. I'm just here reporting the facts. This is just what happened.
Were they caught cockfighting?
Do you have a Google alert for chicken stories?
No, I looked all of this up today, and I'm just telling you what I've seen, what I found. This just so happens to be what has happened recently.
Redneck news.
Wow,
yep.
What?
Chickens with special sauce. Oh yeah, that's what they're going to be selling in Idaho now. In their new.
I am curious to know if those chickens tasted good at being cooked in the Yellowstone.
Very salty, I imagine.
The ingredients are the springs. I forget how hot they are.
Oh God,
Tommy. Oh,
Oh, hey, Tommy.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
You had to go there.
We did.
Oh
We did.
God. Oh man. Well, I don't know. We only have a couple other funny stories, and then we'll get on to the first topic. This YouTuber created the world's worst Airbnb on purpose and still managed to get bookings and make profit, as you can see right here.
How does it work? Booby trap?
Wait, is that a suite?
Oh, okay. That's the actual B&B. It's like a bed.
Yeah.
Like a food
Yeah,
trap.
it's a bed out there.
Looks like an air mattress.
Hey, at least you get some good fresh air. That's nice.
That's pretty much what I gotta be honest. That's what Santa Monica looks like right now. We regrettably have a very large homeless population right now. I live by the park. That's pretty much
That's 16. That's $1,600 a month in San Fran. Like, I mean,
with a lamp that doesn't even plug into the wall.
because there's no wall, Justin.
There's no wall.
Maybe it's a solar powered lamp.
I was thinking the same thing. Why
And there's
why
the second bedroom right there, like that little.
When do you go to the
Why is
bathroom?
there a filing cabinet?
Yeah.
Is
Be
there
in
a
the
porta
bushes.
potty? Maybe a
Yeah,
porta
go
potty?
behind the tree, guys. Go.
What are you talking about?
Crap where you sleep at? Ew.
No, you walk away. Have you never been camping? You go away from your campsite.
Somebody sit behind a tree. That's why I'm like, no, you don't do behind a tree.
Yeah, I wouldn't go
hug
behind
the
that
tree.
tree. Not behind that tree.
I
No,
said,
not that one. There's other
Guys,
trees.
there's bushes.
Go
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Like 25 feet. Go out.
right. Oh man, yeah. I mean, but seriously, if you didn't think that this was a joke by looking at that, I mean, you honestly think that this guy was a dick, but not as much as of a dick.
Troll.
I hate
Oh
his
my
hair.
god, yeah, definitely. Anyways, sorry, we have to get to this Florida man story.
Okay, Florida man. Here we go.
Yeah, this is your territory, Lorena.
Yeah.
Florida man pulls gun after being told he has a small penis by the police.
Miami-Dade, I'm guessing.
And we do have a mugshot of this person.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
no.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
One of those setups.
I love you, Jeremy. Well, we're going to have the Council of Jeremys. Council of Jeremys are going to be on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern. I love you, Jeremy.
Wait, is Jeremy?
Oh my God.
Twitter?
I hope someone doesn't clip that one.
Yeah, he's banned. Yeah, he's banned on
he
Twitter.
was deplatformed. He was suspended on Twitter.
Still, it could be all over the place. Nothing he can do about it.
By the way, who did he draw the gun on? Like, was this a prostitute? Was this some random?
No, somebody
person?
who's the guy literally pulled.
On the police.
I feel like we're
Penis
talking
out.
about Jeremy now when we talk about it. But no,
Yeah, so
no, the
Jeremy's
guy.
at a urinal.
No. He drew a gun on a guy who said he had a small penis. So he's like, "The fuck did you just say?" And just pull out the gun.
Oh, see, I'm dumb. I was thinking someone actually saw the penis. Was like, "Ha, small penis." Just some random guy be like, "Oh yeah, small penis." Why would Florida, man?
What county? That's all I want to know.
That's a better explanation than I could have thought of. But anyways, since you were speaking of now we're gonna get into the main topic. There's no real transition between all those funny stories and everything that's happening now. There's no natural way to transition, but it's a lot of fun that we can just explore and talk about. But Madmartigan, you have a trailer for us.
Yeah,
that we'd like to watch. This is for Lucasfilm. Lucasfilm's releasing on Disney Plus a holiday special, and as you know, Lucasfilm has had a great track record with Disney and
Visionary. It's visionary.
Oh, God.
and their Star Wars products recently. So let's take a look at this trailer. We're gonna watch this. We'll watch this together. This is gonna be a journey that we all experience together. Us and the chat.
Panel's
Everybody.
reaction. That's great.
Everybody
Are we
who's here.
e-tapping it?
Did I get wine for this?
I think we are.
Oh,
You
I
should
poured me
go
some
get
whiskey.
Yeah.
Are we gonna e-tap it?
I say we do.
I say we do as well.
copyrights and all that.
I say
All
we
right,
do as well.
Do
But it
reaction
started
video.
out. I'm actually since Lorena mentioned wine, I'm going to pour myself a drink. So go ahead.
Yeah, I already got my whiskey. Oh, you mean?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'll start.
So go ahead and just let people know what you guys think. We're gonna let's go through the whole trailer first, and then we'll break
Go
it
for
down.
it.
All right.
Oh,
All right, go for it.
so no e-tapping.
EFAP on the
You
replay.
can press play whenever.
Okay, all right. Justin.
'Twas the night before Life Day, in a galaxy far, far away. Looking good. Tree, food, decorations. Coming together heroes were to celebrate the day.
Please be a cape. Please be a cape.
It's a wrap! For Ray, adventure called, and she thought it would be fast. But there she found a key to the galaxy's past.
Sorry. Oh, Master Luke, what are you doing? This
Oh
is
my
so
God.
cool. We see my master. My master's master.
Concentrate.
My master's father.
Impressive.
My master's father's master.
Emperor Palpatine? I don't believe it!
You think maybe you could put a shirt on?
It's a key to travel across space and time.
I will change to the future.
So sure are you?
Less talky, more fighty.
Pod races. Jigs! Oh, double jigs!
Oh. So cute.
Yahoo! Gimme!
Galaxy's best emperor.
Meh!
You thinking what I'm thinking?
Music! A time of joy, this is.
Ray!
Of friendship. Of family.
Who are you guys?
Master Skywalker.
My son. I mean, these binary sons.
Gunta, solos? You want to shoot first?
After you.
Ugh.
Okay.
Is this like a parody?
I think so.
It's supposed to be because
Sorry.
Is that Wes Moody?
Because if you see the Lego movie,
Is that Wes Moody?
like
on the
Lego
left?
Batman and the rest of them, they're like spoofs. They're just lighthearted spoofs.
Oh, that's just a new show that I have coming out tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central. Sorry.
Oh,
it played
sorry, Wes. I
automatically.
was trying to take away Madmartigan's screen, and then when I did that, you came up.
So I'm going to give an interesting opinion here about the strategy behind this movie, right? Which is this time travel thing fits into all of the rumors that they're going to attempt to reshape the entire sequel trilogy and erase it. And I think they're now seeding that possibility into people's minds with this thing because it's such a why would you do this storyline? It feels like a very intentional choice within the system to seed the idea of altering the timeline.
Is it canon though? That's my question. Is this going to be considered canonical?
Well,
Canonical.
I think it's a way to
Canonical.
try and unite all the fandoms, right? You're trying to get some of the prequel trilogy in there. You're trying to get the original trilogy. So they're trying to get people back because they lost people. So how to do it? Bring in nostalgia like they're doing with Mandalorian. Right? What they do this week?
I mean, they're
This is what they're
trying,
doing.
but I'll tell you the part where they lost me. If I'm not a little kid watching this, I just love Legos and I want to see, jokes like that. Cool, it's fun. But if I'm an OG fan, the moment they dropped Rey into the X-Wing over the Death Star,
Yeah.
Lost my shit.
Yep.
I saw red. That's when I'm just like, you got to be freaking kidding me.
Yeah, that's a
they
red
should've left
flag.
that out.
Yeah.
And that was the exact moment that lost me too on that. Let the Disney trilogy die. Kill it if you have to.
I told you.
Yes.
If it's not canon, I'm fine with it. What the fuck is happening, Rob? There's some good.
Mickey,
there was
I
some
don't know.
good-
I don't even recognize it anymore.
Mickey needs to give me my damn dividend this quarter. That's
If it's not
Yeah,
canon,
but,
there were some good bits in there. Now the Emperor is the chicken robot Emperor that
That's what I
they
thought
had
too. Yeah, from
Right?
Robot Chicken. Yeah.
100%. I'm on board for it, but fuck Ray, man.
Wait.
The part where he said, "I'm going to
wait,
change the future,"
hold on
I
a
said,
second.
"Yes, do it, please, do it."
Wait.
Yeah.
I just no. Again, it's like for me, time travel is one of the laziest plot devices you can use. Number one,
It is.
and just the way that they're just dropping Rey. I mean, Rey fighting Vader.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
no.
Real?
Uh-oh.
Wrong.
No,
That's really
I
Whole
would
thing.
rather see her observing Luke fighting Vader. I could king with that, but her fighting Vader, hell no, no.
Come on,
If
girls, get it
Vader
done.
kicks her butt, then maybe she learns a necessary lesson of growth.
Yeah, but
Not
Come on,
gonna do
Cam.
that.
oh, come on. But you're being too
Come on.
optimistic. You're not thinking fourth dimensionally. You see,
I've
if she beats Vader, then she's the ultimate Jedi, which everyone is trying to say that she is. You know,
I've heard
She's
two
so
veins.
great. She accidentally blew up the first Death Star because she dropped in there and pressed the right button at the right time. Ray.
I've heard two veins of thought with this. It kind of sounds like both of them are coming up right now, concerning the conversation. But just a fact that, like, with Kamran Pasha was saying, I've heard, like, with Clownfish TV was talking about this, like, it's possible that they might just straight up retcon the sequel trilogy, which even so, if it is obnoxiously done and they still keep Rey as a Mary Sue, as long as she's gone, I've heard like it's a possible testing to see how people feel about it. I think maybe I could be a little bit on board if they're self-aware of the fact that Rey is in fact a Mary Sue. So yeah,
Dean is so interesting because when I was in wardrobe and makeup earlier, I showed I showed her the trailer, and her thought was like, well, maybe Lego knows like how garbage Rey is and like how she is this Mary Sue. Maybe they're doing it.
Yeah.
And I was like, it doesn't matter if that's what Lego was thinking because Lucasfilm is going to look at it like, oh yeah, no, Rey, awesome, and they're going to go with it like 100% and take it literally rather than it being satire like what my that department thought that would be. I didn't get to talk to.
They wouldn't get the
research.
joke. They wouldn't get the joke on that.
No,
Yeah.
they
Right.
wouldn't, because if you've seen the other Lego movies, like Lego Batman, Lego Ninjago, they do not take themselves seriously through the whole thing.
Mm-mm.
That's why it's so much fun.
Yeah.
So I know
And
Lego.
If you notice, Ray was the only one that didn't make a joke throughout that whole thing. She was around jokes, but she never made a joke.
Right.
You didn't.
Well,
you
there's
didn't
not. There isn't
Well,
much
that's it.
except
Maybe
for
she's, I would just, maybe this is visual thinking, just her being, it's like the straight man archetype, of just like, like Kermit the Frog. He's just being surrounded by all these weirdos around. He's trying to hold shit together. She's like, holy shit, all this shit's happening. I'm trying to hold it together, but it's like, it's too chaotic.
No,
guess.
but
She is a
nobody was
Girl Scout.
bouncing jokes off of her either, though. All the jokes were involved with people outside of
True.
Ray. You know what I mean? Like usually with a straight man, you have the, and they bounce off of each other. They're riffing on, on whatever. But Ray's just like this bored.
Yeah.
But Rain is plain. She's the, when you see Ray, there's nothing like, throughout the trilogy. She's just plain Ray. I mean, her clothes are just plain, just white or gray, nothing that stands out. Nothing that's personality. It's just plain Jane. That's what she is.
Yeah.
And I'm just afraid that if this is canon, if this becomes canon, now are they messing with the original trilogy? Now are they messing with the prequel trilogy? That's what scares me. That's what I'm worried about, because I don't know if they just want to recon the whole thing. And I'm really worried Ray goes back in time. Ray beats Vader. Ray blows up the Death Star. What didn't Ray do? Ray did everything. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are two sides to that. One is, that fear of actually changing the course of history of all of these films that we grew up with and trying to forcefully implement this boring character that really most people really don't. I mean, some people really like her, but
who?
It doesn't. I don't know.
People like the idea of her. They like what they think she represents.
Yeah, it's like how. I mean, Cameron, if you remember, Twilight.
Yeah.
No one really thought that Bella was, a great character, but people wanted to be Bella in that situation with Edward. Edward, people who had a crush on Princess, they wanted to
crowd.
Yeah, that's sort of, maybe what
storytelling, like Luke Skywalker. Yeah.
If I were to say something, so if we're talking about, because since we are talking about Lego, I don't know if anybody noticed my collection in the background. If I could do this,
Can't see it.
But yeah,
he has some Lego setups right there.
Huh?
Yeah, bring it to the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
What do you guys want to see?
Whatever you want.
Your best one.
Let's
Your
see the
best
AT-AT.
The AT-AT.
Best one. Best one. Hold on.
Yeah, you got one shot. Don't fuck this up. Better pick a good one.
One shot
on the language.
One opportunity.
Not Star Wars related, but
what do we got here?
Oh, that's even better.
Oh wow.
Oh, Battlestar Galactica.
Wow.
Nice.
Who identified that immediately? Who was that? Was that you,
can't quite
Rob?
hear you guys though. Hold on.
That
was Cameron.
Yeah. I'm a big.
Well, never mind then. He's a special guest. I won't say anything.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
Not Star Wars related, but thing is massive.
It's still sci-fi related. So
Yeah,
Could you show us?
Star Galactica. I knew it immediately.
Could you show us the AT-AT?
Okay. 1 second.
That's really cool.
Now I'm really curious.
Wait, did he build these?
Oh yeah.
Oh, he can still hear us.
Did you glue them together?
No. No glue.
Uh-oh.
Oh, be careful then.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Be careful, man.
Yes.
I don't want to see it fall to pieces.
I don't either.
By the way, just
I would
like saw the
cry,
video.
yes.
Here's the thing.
Oh wow.
This is the new one. But
Wow.
the reason why I bring this up is that if you look at my collection, there is not a single sequel trilogy build in here. Because as soon as the Last Jedi came out, they produced mostly original trilogy. Like this was the forefront.
That's what sells.
I believe it.
Because they had AT-AT things in the Last Jedi, but nobody cares about those. They didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. I mean,
hey, what's up with Boba Fett's helmet up there? Like, I'm curious about that. Is that Legos?
The big one? No, that's not Lego. It's actually it's the closer you get to it.
Is that a Mando?
It's Boba Fett.
Okay.
Ooh, nice.
I kind of got gypped on that one, but
oh, that's okay. That's okay. But you were saying as a person who's clearly a fan of Legos, builds them a lot. What did you want to say about this in particular? Like, were you a fan of the Lego movie?
Oh, I was saying particularly that as soon as The Last Jedi came out, it was only these things. It was only original trilogy, some prequel trilogy, but any of the stuff that came out during The Last Jedi was very small set pieces. They're very tiny little builds. They weren't big, they call them UCS. It's Ultimate Collector Series. It was all this stuff. And just now, or a little while ago, they actually did a poll to see who would want the biggest, the next big set. And unanimously, it was the Republic gunship. It was between that, the Nebulon B, and one other. I can't remember. But again, even within the polling, I don't remember any sequel trilogy content. It was here's the stuff we know you guys like, because that's the only thing they can do now that will cater to the fans.
I can't name a single vehicle from the Disney trilogy that wasn't already a part of Star Wars. Not one.
Yeah, that's just really sad. The lack of originality, the lack of expanding upon the universe in a way that's I mean, there are some interesting ideas you can go off of, and I'm sure Cameron, as a more creative, more than I am, more than I think most of us on this panel combined.
I wouldn't say that. I'll take the praise, but I'm I'm just doing this professionally. That doesn't mean much more than that.
Oh no, but I will say that I'm sure that you would look at the screen sometimes and just be like, I could have created a little bit more creative things than this, or have even recognized.
Yeah, I mean that was my critique of the entire even when I watched The Force Awakens, which I was, I went in, I was excited. I came out a little deflated. I wasn't angry like I was at The Last Jedi, but I felt deflated because I was like, I saw this. I saw a better version of this back in, 1977, right? I saw this. And it was nothing new. It was all felt like a shadow. Even when they're on that planet and they tried to do the Mos Eisley Cafe. I'm like, I've seen this, man. And the cafe made sense. I'm like, I don't know who any of these people are, these creatures. I mean, I don't know why they're there, And so I was like, I've seen all of this, but better done.
Yeah, and but I mean, for me personally, when I watched it and rewatched it, I could see some seeds of oh, this could be interesting, but it kind of heavily relied on the next movie and everything. But I mean, it's just one of those things that really bothered me about that movie. Looking back on it, unfortunately, but in terms of the holiday special, in terms of just having I don't know, I'm torn between hating it if it's canon or liking it just as this is just for fun and it's goofy, it's not supposed to be taken seriously, it's supposed to poke fun at everything Star Wars, no pun intended.
I think it comes down to if it's canon or not. Yeah, for sure. I think that's the line. Because again, I know Lorena and I both Robot Chicken immediately with the Emperor. I mean,
yeah.
But was that actually Seth MacFarlane?
What, in Robot Chicken?
Well, it was him in Robot Chicken as the Emperor. Yeah. So if that's Seth MacFarlane in Star Wars, I don't mean
literally. I mean they shoplifted the what Robot Chicken did with the Emperor.
Yeah, exactly. If you go back to that skit from Robot Chicken, just deadpan how the Emperor responds.
So good.
You pick it up immediately. I mean, they lifted that.
Even
so
the
good.
Voice was very voice was very Robot Chicken-y.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'm gonna stick with that.
Very. So it's that part, I got that. So somebody who obviously watched Robot Chicken knew what they were doing with that segment. So that was funny. That's true. Funny. But again, it's going to go down to whether it's canon or not. If it's just something to be entertaining and fun, because you got to remember who the demographic is for this. It's young kids. So they're going to laugh at this not really take it seriously, just want to look for fart jokes and Lego bricks to fall apart, like if they're playing, the Lego Star Wars video games. That's pretty much what they're going to see. But again, if you're like an old school fan like we are, it's like, yeah, we can take it as fun. But again, it's like, are they gonna say that this is now part of part of the canon? Because like I said, I don't like that part where Rey drops into the X-wing over the Death Star. No.
Yeah,
immediately pissed me off.
It was a little weird, a little cheese
That part
ball.
scares me. That part scares me too.
I know that Wes, you gotta get going in a second. So I wanted to get your perspective. I want to get your perspective before you leave on this whole trailer and your thoughts on it.
My cringe muscle is kind of getting stuck. There's just a lot of cringy moments that were like, Yeah, especially, and again, like Lorena was saying, the moment when she dropped into the cockpit with Luke Skywalker on the trench run, I was like,
yeah,
I was out. I was like, yeah. Like, I don't want to have sequel trilogy and prequel trilogy meet anywhere. I want to forget about the sequel trilogy, but it is for kids, and for kids, kids are
they deserve better.
Maybe somebody with like a 60 IQ, maybe they might enjoy it. I don't know.
Yeah, and kids are smart. If kids know if something's not entertaining, that didn't look at.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw I'll be honest, I haven't watched the Lego movies, but I've seen the trailers for like the Lego Batman, and they made me laugh. Right?
Lego movies are absolutely hysterical. The writing is so good.
Lord and Miller with the first one. Again, it was I laughed like I was I felt like I was 12 years old again, laughing at the humor, laughing at the creativity and thinking like, oh yeah, 12-year-old me could have come up with a story with that if I knew what story structure was, and had that, creative aspect still, the childlike sense of wonder still within me, but
Lego Batman was great. I'm sorry, Justin, I've really got to get going here, but thanks for having me on, and thanks to the amazing panel, and of course the best chat on
You're
YouTube.
welcome.
We will see you later.
Hi, Wes.
Take care, Wes.
See you, Wes.
Yeah.
See you, Wes.
Just to
how do I
like
get out of here?
Justin has
The
to
X, the red X.
Now I was gonna say, even with the Lego Ninjago movie, just the way that they thought like a kid with how they put that stuff together. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that.
I haven't.
No.
Okay, I had to see it with my niece and my nephews, and we saw it. They literally had something called the ultimate weapon. And do you know what the ultimate weapon was?
What?
The red laser you use on cats.
The laser pen.
The laser pen. They were talking about the most, like the cat was like destroying everything, and they couldn't figure out why. And they're like, "We have the ultimate weapon." And then when you see what it is, it's like, "Holy crap!" Something a kid would think about.
I will say this much about the Lego games: they are quite different from the Lego movies. But honestly, like, I'm going to disagree a little bit with you guys. Like, I've actually known some people my age who have played them and loved the games. So I think to some degree, there will be like more respect for older fans too.
I played the Lego Star Wars game, episodes 1 through 6.
Yeah, and they're getting more hefty because they're more expensive, so they have to give it more content. And so I think, and even still, like, even before the big boom of how things are with Lego, they've been able to not hold back from, just ripping on characters. Like, if you've played Lego Batman, like, Robin is a total beta, and it's hilarious.
Dean.
Yes.
I don't know if you've heard of this Lucasfilm place, but there's this woman there. Does not take anything as a joke. Everything is very serious. I don't know how much. I don't know how much leeway Catherine, whatever. I don't know.
Catherine. Cray.
Yeah, whatever. Like, how much like freedom does she give the Lego team to do what they wanted with this movie? I doubt very little, if any. I bet like a lot of it had to be approved.
Well, she's
by
leaving anyway.
Lucasfilm.
Her contract expires, so
It's
that's
yeah, and it's very possible that because I know a lot of people I've heard people in Lucasfilm are just tired of dealing with her, and as soon as she walks in the room, some people are just fed up, and it all depends on who's the production company within that. Because it might be because I know with the games, it's actually Warner Bros. Who does a lot of the games, even if it's Marvel, believe it or not. But they actually do a lot of the Lego games. So, I mean, I don't know if that's any crossover with the films or anything else, but I don't know. And I guess it is under Disney's banner, so that's the only question. But I mean, even still, there's probably some subsect underneath them, I imagine.
I don't know, maybe.
I don't know either. I'm just shooting. I don't know.
By the way,
I imagine
because
Kamran
KK is
knows.
leaving, like you got to remember, she's brought in a lot of her own people to have that same, like critical theory, and deconstruction. Yeah, and they're still there, implanted in Lucasfilm. So she may be gone, but until they clean house, you're still going to have a lot of these same issues of, destroying the meta narrative.
I understand that, and I completely support just getting rid of most of the Lucasfilm story group, most of them. I always say, and I always will say this: Pablo can stay. Pablo Hidalgo can stay. He can stay only because we need one person in there who's kind of weird, so we can complain about something. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Also, it's tweet. He used to be entertaining when they were public. So that's just me. That's just me. But I will say though that we're also if I can remind people, what this is actually about on the Star Wars website. This is what it's actually supposed to be. It gives a pretty good. This came out in August. It gives a pretty good idea of what it's supposed to be about. Set after the events of Rise of Skywalker, Rey leaves her friends to prepare for Life Day as she embarks on a new adventure with BB-8 to gain a deeper knowledge of the Force. At a mysterious Jedi temple, Rey finds herself hurled into a cross-timeline adventure through beloved moments in Star Wars cinematic history, coming into contact with Luke Skywalker, Vader, Yoda, Obi-Wan, and all these iconic heroes throughout the 9 movies. But will she make it back in time for the Life Day feast and learn the true meaning of holiday spirit? You got all the time you want. You have a time machine. God damn it!
Yeah. I got a nit to pick here,
guys.
It's Life Day.
I have to get going, but I just want to say goodbye. Hope you guys have a great stream. Thanks for inviting me, Justin, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. Hopefully I can come on next week. All right, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. See you, Rob.
Bye, Rob.
Love you.
Take care, guys. Be well. Love you too.
Take care of that stupid Christmas tree for me. You have had up. You've had it up since July.
But this is the season. Now I can put it up.
Keep it up.
That's not how it's supposed to.
May as well keep it up now.
Yes.
Bye, Rob.
Bye.
So I was saying Life Day was a Wookiee holiday.
100%.
At least we thought.
Yeah. So now they're retconning that
it?
again. If this turns out to be canon or not, I don't know.
They're playing weird games with the canon these days.
No, just
Especially
like in the beginning,
Mando.
Rey leaves her friends to prepare for Life Day. What? You're not a Wookiee. What are you talking about?
Exactly. You're not a Wookiee.
Are you hosting a feast?
Little did you know that Palpatine was part Wookiee.
Well, but this is where we are. Actually on a deeper thing here, because everything is fluid now, and she can identify as part of the Wookiee tribe, right? I mean, that's where we are now, consciously, and that's where other people and a lot of people Lucasfilm think like. So that's why there's no boundary of she's not a Wookiee. This is not her day.
God. Next thing you know, she can speak fluent Wookiee, right?
Dang it, Cameron.
Oh man.
Well, Cameron, since working around some of these people who make these decisions, I understand that there's some sort of gatekeeping that's involved with that, where, you have to, sort of align with this, different group of thinking in some way or another. Maybe you don't have to be as vocal as long as you're talented enough, then you can like get involved in these circles. But what I'm curious about is how does one, get into this mindset, where like these kind of decisions are not challenged. Well, like,
challenged.
Let's say that, by somebody, who's, maybe at a lower level or something that, may see these kind of things.
You'll get fired. I mean, you're answering your question. This is a hierarchical industry where decisions are being made by people at the top. And the moment you question them, especially if it's politically charged, right, you're finished. I know because I've been in that situation because I have a big mouth and I've said, boss, I don't know that this is what the audience wants. And that puts me in a really bad situation. Most people are smarter than me. That's why they have had less of a chaotic career. I've had a very chaotic career because I can't keep my mouth shut.
Well, that leads me to a follow-up then, is there a way to communicate some of these concerns without just setting them off? Just, is there a way to do that? Are some people able to manage their way to do that? Because, I'm sure that they can learn from, the people from Cobra Kai, for example. I'm sure you've seen that, have you seen that?
Yeah, and what's great about it is it's faithful to the source material. The fans of it will love it, and the new people I didn't watch Karate Kid. I'm like, wow, I love these characters, and I love the vibe of these two guys, the dynamic. Yeah, and so the problem is this, and this is going to be hard for a lot of people to believe, is that a lot of the decision makers in town are not actually there to make movies, television. They're there to fit into a group of celebrities, right? And so it becomes this echo chamber where you finally get into the club and you just want to promote whatever the club's groupthink is so that you can be part of it and you can get invited to parties and there's a huge element of I'll say it, star fucking involved, right? I mean, so it becomes this echo chamber of everyone repeating the same stuff so they can be within the cool club. I was never in the cool club because I was this practicing Muslim guy. And so initially they sort of thought, well, we can use this guy for identity politics, minority brown, right? Muslim guy. Look how non-Islamophobic we are. And then they realized, wait, you're actually a practicing religious Muslim, and as a result, you're conservative on a lot of things, and you think for yourself.
It does not compute.
And then they're like, oh, we don't need this guy. So I made a lot of enemies real quickly, and so I was canceled a long time ago, and I still had a career because I managed to somehow get around it. But I learned very quickly that I wasn't in the club, and they didn't want me in the club, and it's about being in a club. That's where a lot of the storytelling is coming from.
No, you're totally right on that. And at best, if you're a newbie, you could be outside of the club, but you're not entirely in it. Like you can, and I've even been surrounded by, people who, funny enough, some woman who, was, that I was interning for. I'm not going to, name any names here, but who was an open Trump supporter who had essentially been somewhat ostracized from society, or the Hollywood society. But she still had her celebrity friends, celebrity contacts, and everything. They try to put politics aside as long as they know that, or she tried to put her politics aside. But with her interns, she didn't give a shit. But it does make me very curious as to even if you are an assistant to some of these people, you will overhear these conversations, you will overhear a lot of these things that are said, and these decisions that are being made, and you're afraid to challenge them, even if you know in your heart that it's right for the product, even though that you are doing script coverage for it, and you like say like, this is what's right with the script, this is what's wrong with the script. You could do all of that shit and you could still be fired no matter what. It's just like, do you want it to be good? Do you want it to be good? Do you want to make money?
No, because it's about this. Their career is about making the right people happy so they get their next job. Right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Because that's what actors friends or actor friends of mine would tell me when I lived in LA, because I had no clue. And I would go to these industry parties with them. And I'm just like, do you hear what these people are saying? They're like, yeah, but I got to make nice because I need to make sure I get this job or this next job or work with this director or work with that producer. And I have to have the right politics and say the right things, or I don't get to go to the right parties and I don't get to make those types of connections. It's crazy.
Right, because it doesn't matter, you know, if what race you are or anything like that, because what happens is you become socially white.
Yeah.
Meaning, like, if you look at, not getting into politics, but everybody's mad at Florida and all the Cubans down there, and they're like, I mean, basically, they're just white people now. Like, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like,
That's
Cam, like, that's
horrible.
what they did to you. You're no longer a minority. You are a white supremacist, you know, just because of your viewpoints don't line up with theirs. And in Hollywood, like, yeah, the product comes second. What comes first is like deconstructing the meta narrative so that they can rebuild it into what they think that it should be. Not everybody believes what these cuckoo banana people are believing, but they go along with, like what Cam said in Lorena, because they want to stay in. You know, once you get that taste of, you know, celebrity ass, like, you get stuck there and you got to keep getting it. So they're going to keep, you know, pushing this agenda, even if they don't even agree with it, you know, so that they can stay in.
Yeah,
And
Yetika says
that's how
that
we get
sounds
Ray.
miserable. I can't imagine requiring to be fake all the time. Yeah, I couldn't either. I mean, maybe the only argument that I could possibly make is like, do you want to make money? Like, do you want to make money long term? You know, make a good story.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, I accepted that I'm going to be on the fringes until I get one of my own shows on the air. Right? I mean, I've had a solid career, nowhere near what I think I'm capable of, and I've made a lot of adversaries on the way, and I've got a bunch of shows in development. I've always have to, when I can create one of my own shows and I'm the showrunner of my own show, then I've outsmarted the system, right? Because then, but that's a process. I'm sorry.
Crazy. It's like, because like, have you ever seen the show Entourage?
Sure. Yeah.
Of course.
Okay. Yeah.
I tried to. I didn't quite understand it.
Watching that, I just
wouldn't
had
either.
flashbacks from living in LA because there were a couple actors that I knew that I was quote unquote friends with.
Yeah.
And I didn't like going to these Hollywood suck up parties, but they're just like, you know what? I actually trust you. So I need you to go. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll freaking go. And the amount of sucking up is just insane. But it's like, it's the game that's played. It's the game that's played there. And it's like, either, you know, you don't always have to play the game, depends on who you are, but you have to know how the game is played out there.
Lorena, have you played Dragon Age?
Wow. Okay.
No.
Okay.
I was like, no, I don't even know what that is.
They call it the game.
Inquisition was great.
That's good.
By the way. Oh yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
It's the only one I played. That's as nerdy as I'm gonna get. No, but yeah, no. Damn it, Dean, you threw me off. I was gonna respond.
My bad.
Yeah.
The amount of sucking up.
By the way, my ex-wife, she was half Pakistani and half Mexican. Horrible mix, by the way. Don't ever get involved with that mix.
So that's a passionate, impassioned mix there. Lots of emotions, at least there.
Cuckoo bananas. Sorry. Been meaning.
Well,
to
I guess
bring that
she's your ex for a reason.
Oh yeah, she still has like 3 pairs of my shoes.
Oh,
it's
that's random.
How many combinations people say are cuckoo and crazy.
Oh, but by the way, speaking of crazy people, but good people. No, I'm kidding. Jeff is by far like not a crazy person. The rookie critic says, "Who wants pizza right now?" Oh, hey guys, and hey guys,
put some pineapple on that
pizza. I'm on a diet.
But he also said, yeah, I'd love to be a feature film director, but not a Hollywood one based on how it seems lately. Cameron, what would you say to new filmmakers? And Jeff has this is the rookie critic. He's been doing a lot of he's been using his YouTube channel to make movies, essentially, like and involving this community and using it to make like stop motion animation films, stuff like that. So what are your advices for him, as a new filmmaker, who's utilizing YouTube so far as sort of a practice?
Well, I mean, he's doing the right thing right now, which is he's utilizing the independent, or at least semi-independent structures that exist to put his art out there, right? Which is what he has to do. The challenge is this, and it's interesting because the industry is about to change. The challenge has historically been this, is that the amount of resources you need to make a lot of movies are very high. It's very hard for independent filmmakers to pull that off without independent financing or without working within the studio system. It's very hard. So at some point, you're going to have to expand your craft at a place. If you really want a lot of people to see it, you're going to have to be able to get the resources to make a larger kind of project. The interesting thing that's happening now is that the industry is about to go through a massive transformation because of the events of 2020. I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about the virus and the lockdowns and all of that, which is perhaps linked to politics as well. But what has happened is because our industry this year has essentially collapsed. There's been months without filming, and now when they are filming, there's all these restrictions that are making it very difficult to film. Budgets are getting too high to be profitable, and they're trying to figure out what to do. So what's coming now in the next decade is, in my opinion, a return to the 70s, when you had small character dramas and the rise of new filmmakers, right? And that's what's coming. And so this is an exact moment where someone like yourself, who is training to become a filmmaker or is already a filmmaker, can really get into the stage. If you can come up with a smaller budget project that's able to get in the hands of the right people, they're going to need that because they can't make money in the blockbusters for a few years now until we get through the pathologies of the current situation.
This is how a recent example, I think maybe it's the last example that I can really think of something that really took off. Mm-hmm. If you think of the first Saw movie, mm-hmm. Pretty low budget and was very self-contained. Most of the story, like you could tell the whole story in that room with the two guys on the different ends of the room. I mean, that's the kind of story that reminds me of, like, when I see those movies, I'm like, oh, that's a good idea for, a student film could do that, or
I actually have direct insight on Saw that I can give you, because it happened very early in my career. My agent was the guy that discovered James Wan. Okay. Ooh. Then he discovered Saw. So I was there, and I was there early in it. One day, very early in my career, must have been like 2003, 2004, something like that. My agent called me and said, "You need to come to my office right now. I need to show you something." And I said, "Oh, sure." So I drove to Beverly Hills, went to his office, and he showed me a DVD that had just been sent to him from Australia from this unknown filmmaker named James Wan. He had met James a few months earlier when he went to Australia at some film conference, and James had this script that he had co-written called Saw. And my agent read it and goes, "This is an incredible script. I mean, this could create a franchise. This is really good." So he said, "I could sell this script for a couple of $1 million, right now." And James said, "No, but I want to direct it." And my agent said, "Everyone says that. I want to direct you. You're an unknown nobody filmmaker in Australia. No one's ever heard of you. We can sell this script to like big directors right now, and then you can direct your next movie," which is always the screw you way to get you out of there, get you off the fantasy, right? And he said, "No, give me 1 week." Juan said to him, "Give me 1 week. I will prove to you that I can direct Saw." So in that week, James Wan and Winnell, I think they together created a short film version of Saw in his basement. Where that
was in his basement. That was included in the special features of the first Saw movie.
I saw that when it was sent. My agent had just got that morning in FedEx from Australia, and he said, "The hell is this? It's really good. It's scary. They even have the little puppet on the tricycle." He made all of that with his own hands and made the torture devices. And it was and you essentially get what the whole movie's about in that 10-minute clip. And he said, "This guy is going to be huge." And so then my agent brought him, James Wan, and the script to some independent producers who mortgaged their house because they believed in him so much. They financed it by mortgaging their house for $1 million to get the money to make that movie. That's how crazy. And Juan is one of the great filmmakers of our time. And I saw that happening with my own eyes. Watching that video, I was like, oh my God, this guy's going to be huge. So if that's inspiring any of you who want to become filmmakers, that's how you do it.
Dang, man.
There you go, rookie critic. There's your advice right there. Just, I mean, do anything, and go out of your way to prove yourself. I mean, that's kind of what you have to do. And yeah, you have to, in order to do that in a week, you obviously have to have the talent. You have to have the resources. I mean, Amanda was still in that. She was still in that. Like the actress who was in there for the last few movies.
Wait, I got a question. Did James Wan direct The Conjuring?
No, that was Insidious.
That was Insidious. Okay.
But he
I thought he was involved. I thought he was involved in something. I think he had producing credit, maybe.
I just remember seeing his name because I just saw The Conjuring recently.
Yeah, I mean, he wisely went to horror movies as his strength, and now he's become an action director, and now he's become a superhero director. I mean, that's a guy that's a guy with a destiny. I mean, again, I don't know the man. I hope to know the man one day professionally, but I saw his work, and I said, this guy has already planned this out, and he planned out a 20-year career, and we're watching him hit every mark on that journey.
I gotta say, Aquaman was a lot of fun.
Oh wait, he directed Aquaman?
Yeah.
When I first
directed, and you're correct, Lorena, he directed.
Side, but you know,
he did direct The Conjuring
because the only thing bad, he did direct it, but that transition is the only thing bad in Aquaman was Amber Heard, and you're like, this is a great movie. What the hell is she doing?
I know. I was like, get rid of her.
I had no problem with her. I was just like, I didn't really care that much.
Her acting was just flat compared to everyone else.
And he actually got a decent performance out of her compared to her other performances.
Yeah, for sure. And maybe this was just me.
Something out of her.
Maybe this is just me. I didn't know anything about James Wan. James Wan? Is that right?
Yeah, James Wan.
Okay, yeah. I've seen his name on a lot of things. Yeah, right. And when I saw an interview with him, and I got to be honest, I was like, oh, what the heck? Where did that accent come from? Because he has an Australian accent. Like, I know Asians can be Australian. It just threw me for a second.
A large Chinese minority there, yeah.
Yeah.
Terminus Est says, if She-Bond had a large rack, she'd be a double D7.
Okay.
Lorena, that one's for you.
How dare
you?
I'm
not even offended.
No, She-Bond is referring to the next James Bond movie.
LaShonda.
Good God, just
apparently she's going to inherit the 007 name.
Can we stop with
that's marketing they did for the woke crowd. Look, we've got, a black woman as 007. She's basically got the moniker 007 because he's retired. Somebody else has the code number, right? So what's going to happen, in my opinion, I haven't seen the movie yet, but what's going to happen is she's going to have this repartee with Bond, and at the end she's going to die or be reassigned to somebody else because he's going to take on 007 because he's 007, which is an example of the kind of cheap racism of Hollywood, which is they've dangled a black woman as 007, and then that's just pandering because she's not going to be 007. They should have instead made her 008.
That's what I'm saying. Make her a different agent. Don't there's a tradition to 007. Why are you going to mess with that?
Yeah,
it's amazing how they always want
like, you do understand that, like, and I think most people have, look, I mean, like, I know you've, Cameron, have run into a lot of idiots in Hollywood, who think that their creative decisions are amazing, but when it comes to something like James Bond, 25 films in, and you decide to make him 007 is now a woman for some reason. I don't even care, like, the color of her skin. Like, he's a woman now. The age of 007. No. James Bond 007. You cannot continue the franchise without a British dude. I don't even care if it's Idris Elba. Like,
that's why you know it's fake. That's why you know it's pandering, because she's not going to be 007. Right? She's gonna maybe she'll survive the movie, and the goal is to set her up for the franchise. And she'll go work for another part of MI6 and leave the 00 section. Yeah.
Well, that was the original.
Cameron, I have to disagree. I think she will be at the end of the movie. She will be the new 007, because you got to remember Daniel Craig. He's done after this.
He's done. The franchise isn't done. And I think Barbara Broccoli, the producer, her father was the producer of the original movie, so it's a family legacy. So Broccoli, I think Broccoli, the last couple of films has been sort of like, all right, I think the whole town's getting woke. I got to flow in that direction, right? And I I've heard, this is rumor, I haven't seen the film. I understand. I've heard, we know that it was substantially reshot, and the official word was it's because of COVID problems. That's why it was put out. I've heard rumors, and I can't confirm them. I've heard rumors in the town that it was substantially reshot because test audiences thought it was too woke and didn't like the direction that Mad maybe was going in. And that then when they got the test audience reactions, they panicked. And then they started trying to go back to traditional Bond. And I think as time has gone on, it's probably, Broccoli's probably figured out, whatever happens with this presidential election, probably she figured out where culture is, and she wants to make money. This is her family's legacy.
People don't understand that half the country has not been with you this entire time. And, a lot of people have really, even my friends, my personal friends on Facebook, who were just very much like, the typical, the SJW type, who couldn't be reasoned with, who have been ostracizing their family and saying, like, you're not my family anymore. You're not my friend anymore. Like, you're not even my mother anymore. Like, the person who gave birth to you to be the stupid ass that you are now. Like, people being absolutely batshit crazy. They realize, like, hey, maybe these last 4 years, our approach haven't been the best.
Yeah.
You think? And after all this time, after it's been, in media, I think this, this honestly might be a turn in a different direction. There was this spy movie that was like with all females and shit like that. There was a trailer that came out. I don't remember what it was about. Do you remember?
No,
do you guys
I didn't see it.
Was it a group or was it two?
No, it was a group of female spies. I don't remember what
Ocean's 12.
No, it wasn't a reboot. It was an original film.
Oh.
I can't
either with
I don't remember what that
Howard, Ron Howard's daughter, or the one that looks like Ron Howard's daughter. She's
Bryce
like the main
Dallas
star.
Howard?
Bryce Dallas Howard?
Yeah, either her or Chastain, whatever. The one that
Emily Chastain.
Nope, that's not it.
Oh,
hold on. Female spy movie.
Man, I'm looking out.
2021. What the hell? Oh, it came up immediately. The 355.
I've never heard of that.
What? I've never
that's not
heard
even
of
the one
that.
I was thinking of.
I've never
Yeah,
heard
exactly.
of that.
Apparently, it's some sort of original film. Hold on. Hold on a second. I'll share the screen for this. Fuck it.
Oh, Jessica. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's a
Chastain.
Wikipedia page. Fuck you. I don't care.
Thanks, Will.
But
it hasn't been released yet. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Jessica Chastain, Lupita Nyong'o, Penelope Cruz, Diane Kruger. I'm not interested.
yeah, but basically, it was just it's just a female spy movie, and for all I know, it's pretty much. It's funny that it was based off of like these people who are like in charge of Dark Phoenix and everything. But isn't this what we were trying to say the entire time? Is not inflict these these female powers or like the feminism, if you will, the identity politics in the pre-existing franchises, but we're saying, oh, why don't you just create your own thing? And this is I think a step in the right direction for that. In all honesty, you can have your woke franchises, but just don't, inject it into where it's not supposed to be. But then I saw backlash. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead, please. You're saying the backlash. I interrupted you.
I was saying, like, well, there was backlash saying, like, oh, this is all woke. It seems uninteresting. I'm just like, dude, do you want it to continue in the franchises that we love, or do you want to just ignore the shit that they do, or enjoy it as it is, whatever you want? Do you want them to do their own thing, which is the thing that you've been trying to say before? Or do you want it to continue in pre-existing franchises? Which is it? You can't have both. We clearly see the alternative of just doing your own thing is much better than having a female Indiana Jones. I don't want to see that.
But that's the problem. See, these people, again, I'm making a broad generalization, but I've dealt with a lot of these people professionally. They actually don't have the creative integrity to come up with something new.
I
right?
can believe that.
Yeah, and so,
It's one of those things,
so they just glom on to the easier thing for someone like Kathleen Kennedy is to make Rey the new Luke, right? It's easier to create a new female Indiana Jones, because they can't think it out. They're not people like James Cameron who said, "I'm going to take this waitress character and make her this kick-ass action hero fighting a robot from the future," right? I mean, they're not smart enough to think something like that up. There's been a few that have tried. I actually liked Atomic Blonde, right? It was trying to be the new female movie, but it didn't succeed economically. And so when they see that scares them even more. And they just want to get in and glom onto existing franchises to make money. But, it's not sustainable.
So
you have to see.
it's excused because of.
Do you think that's probably like the reason why people are like hesitant on these kind of projects? Because like even though like this does seem original from what I understand, Cameron, it does seem like this is what more people should do, though.
Because as a screenwriter, my entire career has been coming up with, I write what I call spec scripts, which are just scripts I write on my own. Right. And my agents are always like, it's hard to sell these things because, we need a pre-established franchise, because the person making the decision, the executive, most movies fail, and the executive needs to be able to say when the movie fails, well, I mean, how do I know it's going to fail? It's Indiana Jones, right? I mean, it's that franchise. Rather than saying I took a risk on something and now fire me, right? So the system is set up with people that are invested in keeping their jobs, and they can keep their jobs by just saying, well, this worked before, and let's keep it this way.
It's that unfortunate sin of Hollywood that is the logic of safety, which is very unfortunate.
Sorry, I had my hand raised.
Hi.
Let Max speak. Yeah. He's trying to speak.
I actually had a question for you, Cam. Do you think it's like I agree with what you just said about not wanting to take a chance and having the established thing, but what about the equity as far as in today's world, where by taking an established character like James Bond, they don't look at it as just like some cheap way of change, like race, gender bending or changing or whatever. It's more like, well, there's not a level playing field because the 007 has had all these years to build up that
field. I definitely think that's the rationalization, because remember they have a mantra for all the reasons they say they do these things, right?
Of course,
that's one of the mantras, right? It's that it's unfair that this white Scottish man has become a global hit. I was like, that's the historical process, come up. Wonder Woman goes back to whatever, like the 1940s. I mean, and it took you guys forever to figure that out, how to make that work. And now it worked. I mean, I loved Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I love the 70s, Wonder Woman TV show. I watched that as a kid. And so
it can work.
Yeah, you're just choosing not to develop them, right? I mean, I worked on the Bionic Woman remake, right? Bionic Woman was one of my favorite shows as a little kid, right? Our show didn't work, and I can always go into the reasons why it didn't work. But, that was, again, of them at least trying to go back to something that had a strong, and the idea of the strong female. Bionic Woman is from the 70s. Wonder Woman is from the 1940s, right? And and so it's ridiculous that they say that, but that is the mantra they have to say to justify the practical thing, which is they don't have the creativity or the risk-taking ability to try something.
You know what's amazing? Just stay with me on this one. I was trying to find the theme song to Salute Your Shorts, which was a Nickelodeon show back in the 90s, and led me like, hey, dude. Anyway, but it brought up this montage of like of all of these 90s. Just stay with me, Justin. All of these 90s shows, right? And the first one, it was like In Living Color, Living Single, Family Matters, Sister, Smart Guy, and I'm like, wait. Like there's more. Like not only were there, it feels like there were more shows that were diverse way back when in like the early 90s, but also like there was never a point in my life growing up watching all of these shows that I was like, oh man, we're watching these black people again. No, it was just a show and it was great. We all enjoyed it. You know what I mean? And I'm from East Texas. I don't come from like I graduated with 152 people. That was 7 towns combined.
Yeah.
So yeah, but no one ever was like, yeah, it's one of those shows. No, we just watched it. It was a good show, Because we're living in a generation right now that really,
doesn't know why it's angry because it's not aware of the historical process through which we got to where we are, right? And so that's why to them everything is the first time it's ever been done. Wonder Ray is the first, great female character. Captain Marvel is the first woman. I was like, even when Captain Marvel came out, the PR was like, this is the first female superhero. I was like, Wonder Woman was 18 months ago. What are you talking about? Right?
Yeah.
No sense of the past because these people they haven't struggled, so they're creating a fake struggle right now by setting fire to the world, right? And so their lives have been too easy. And that's
I can't be mad at them for it though, because like it's in us to fight. Like as just people, as human beings, like we want to rebel, and it takes a lot of like self-control not to do that. And the thing that always pops in my head when I ever have a conversation like this is that dude that was pissed at Starbucks for changing the coffee cup at Christmas, right? Yeah, he's like, they're taking Christmas, they're taking Jesus out of Christmas, and he's like, he has a gun, and he's mad at him. I just looked down, I was like, bro, how great is your life? Like, if this is your thing, this is the hill that you're gonna die on, is a Christmas cup from Starbucks. If you walk inside, there's Christmas CDs everywhere, and on their website they have ornaments everywhere. I don't know, but the cup is your line. How great is your life? And I think that's where we are for a lot of this, is that they need to rebel, they need to fight. But God damn it, we've done a pretty good job of eliminating a lot of the things like what they would be fighting. Not saying the world or the country's perfect.
When things, for all of it, that's like you said, it's across the political spectrum. When things get too easy, we will start turning on each other, which is where we've gotten to in the last several years. Because, when I've traveled all over the world. I've been to a lot of third world countries. I've been to like Egypt. I've been to North Africa, right? And you see a lot of poor people. They don't got time for this crap, man. I mean, I think Chris Rock said this, and it's Chris Rock. So I'm just quoting him if you're offended by it. Chris Rock said this. He said, we are so rich in America that we are allergic to food. You go to Rwanda, nobody is lactose intolerant. No one has time for that, man.
That one.
And so and there's truth to that.
No one has time for gluten-free bullshit.
So, and our whole
peanut
world,
allergies,
the world has become consumed with this conflict of people that got too much time on their hands, man. The culture reflects that. Media reflects that.
So, Kamran, I have a question for you.
Yes.
So why are these Hollywood types such a glutton for punishment? Like, I mean, how many films have we seen that have been the same setup? I mean, like Ghostbusters, was it 2016?
Yep.
And like, just all these films where it's like, yeah, they're definitely woke and they fail and they do it again. What is with these industries? And it's across the board, not just film industries.
Well, again, I'm going to have to talk a little bit about politics, explaining it, right? And so
go for it.
The industry's always been on the left side since I've been there. I think it's been there. And often historically that's been a good thing, right? We criticize, and Lorena and I have talked about this, we criticize Gone with the Wind right now and say what a racist movie it was. And Gone with the Wind had the first African-American woman win the Oscar, right? Hetty McDaniel, right? And you had the producers who are now being called white racists for making a show about the Civil War, right? We're actively lobbying for her to get that Oscar, even though in society she couldn't even sit at the table with the other white actors at the time. And so that's a good thing that Hollywood, even back in the 30s, had this liberal thing. I mean, what has happened in the last 4 years was the election of Trump activated a deep pathology in the industry, and I watched it happen. It went from standard like liberal, we got to move society forward in these ways, whatever, equality, blah, 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 to they started believing that everything that had been done over the last century was about to be unraveled, which it hasn't in the last 4 years, right? It's not exactly like LGBT rights have gone backwards under Trump. They haven't. And so, or largely, I think, I will let someone from that community make a comment on that, but from my perception, right? And so but the terror that I felt in Hollywood the day after he was elected, people were crying with tears in the office. I came into my office on TV show I was working on. People were crying, and that panic set in. And what happened is, at that time, Star Wars, all these things were being developed. They decided we've got to save America from this rising Nazi movement that they imagined was happening. And so they decided to stuff everything instead of good storytelling, or like look who's coming to dinner. You got Sidney Poitier, doing an interracial relationship in the 60s, right? Instead of that kind of storytelling, you suddenly just throw every mantra you can and try to unbrainwash the people who have been brainwashed, right? That's the worst possible way to do it. And so that happened, and that led to idiotic things like Ghostbusters 2016. You know, my understanding, I mean, that was a woke dumb movie, and it was. I actually have a fan in other movies that was, you know, Fig, whatever that he did that was an agenda movie that was terrible. Then you had other that were not necessarily woke that were marketed as such. That includes the Terminator Dark Fate, includes Charlie's Angels, and it even includes Birds of Prey, right? And those movies were marketed as being much more woke than they actually were, and that led them to lose more money. So I will say this: by the beginning of the year, before the lockdowns and everything else happened, after the failure of Birds of Prey, the industry had figured out this is a losing strategy. After the failure of Star Wars, they had figured out this is a losing strategy, and people were actively saying, we got to pull it back and return to normal storytelling, right? The problem is this. Then the events of 2020 happened, the lockdown happened, and then the social unrest of the summer, right? Especially with Black Lives Matter and the rioting and stuff that happened, the protests, all that made them go, oh my God, we got to go back to putting out blatant leftist stuff, even though
we were right the whole time, but
they're trapped now. Now they're trapped. Now everyone's like, crap. We gotta keep putting this out, right? Because we gotta look like we're not on the wrong side of things, even though we know it's not gonna make us money. In some ways, the lockdown provided them a way out of it. They're like, okay, we're not going to make any movies for a while. Hopefully culture will change by then.
You know, like 2019, there were some people were saying on Odin's stream a while back that there were some really legitimately good films during that time. I mean, I remember like we got Parasite, we got Zombieland, Double Tap. We got
that was a good one.
That was a good one. I really liked
that was a good one. Not woke. Didn't go into that. Even, you know, maybe have had like one Trump joke because, you know, they were in the White House. There's just saying like, you know, but
I don't know.
It was subtle enough for me to not notice. But yeah, go ahead.
I mean, it was kind of generally like they were being kind of silly. It just happened to be the White House.
It was just fun. You're in the White House. It's a zombie apocalypse.
Ford versus Ferrari, by the way. I mean,
that was a good one too.
Talking zombie.
That one got shafted, unfortunately. That was sad. We had some good actors, some good writing in that film.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I do think though that it does predate Trump. It goes back, you know, a couple of years before, and you know, it does remind me again that something that I learned, you know, even in film school, that it wasn't Hollywood. It was listen about the Grammys. The Grammys are at least a few years behind the trend, whereas like the Grammys that should have been given to people at the time or have been nominated to them at the time were not given out because they wanted to acknowledge the popular artists that they missed out on a few years before. And that will just continue to go on, and they will always be behind the trend because they're out of touch morons, essentially. And that goes with Hollywood too. I mean, the biggest fuck up that the Oscars ever had was not nominating Steven Spielberg for Best Director for Jaws. That will go down in history as the biggest fuck up for the Oscars. I don't even want to hear another alternative unless you have a better one than that.
Yeah, I was thinking James Franco being the host.
What happened there?
Oh, we're not going to get into that.
Okay.
No, but that's an example going back to the club. At the time, Steven Spielberg was nobody. He wasn't in the club. Even Lucas was in the club because he had gone to USC film school and was hanging out with Francis Ford Coppola, right? Steven Spielberg, this guy didn't go to film school, who was in the fringe of this club, hanging out with some of these people. They sort of like, he was like the ugly stepchild of this group of 70s filmmakers, right? And he wasn't in the club, and he's doing TV movies, which made him like, whatever, he's doing TV stuff, whatever, not real male. And so now he's become like this icon, right? Exactly when I think maybe some of his movies aren't that great anymore, right? Now he's the icon you can't question. But initially he was out of the club, and that shows you how this town has always worked like.
Yeah, absolutely. And okay, Marina, I know you got to get going.
Yeah, I got to go.
You got to host the Queen's Council in a little bit.
Yes. So the Queen's Council is going to be at 9:15.
And I'm still not allowed on that one.
You're not a queen. You're not a king.
We're a little booked this week. Yeah.
What's your gender, Madmartigan?
Yeah.
Eventually.
Sorry.
Yeah, we have our token king of the week. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, you should though.
Just kidding. But yeah, it's been awesome, guys, as usual. Great hanging out with you, Cameron. You guys in the chat are amazing. And so if you have a chance, please drop by Queen's Council at 9:15 p.m. on my channel.
Thank you, Lorena. As always, you are the queen of our streams. As always, greatly appreciated that you bless us with your presence every week.
Oh, well, thank you, Justin, and thank you for my birthday song. It was cool.
Cringy is the better word, but
if you think you're cringy, you should hear the Dark Council try to sing "Happy Birthday."
Did they try to do that?
Yeah, they tried to do that with somebody else, and let's just say, don't be too hard on yourself.
Did they legitimately try?
Oh yeah. They put their heart in it.
At least we didn't give a shit, and we were just like, but they actually tried.
You wouldn't imagine.
Y'all have to say it. Y'all have to say it.
Bye,
guys. Thanks so much.
Bye, Lorena.
Bye, Lorena.
Bye.
All right. Now that she's gone, let me just say.
Go good, man.
Right into gossip.
No, mine was dumb. I'm sure you were making a point. I was making a dumb joke.
I can wind down as well soon. So if there's any last points we want to raise, we didn't even get to talk about Amber Heard or Johnny Depp, which is something I'm very passionate about.
We can real quick. I mean, he did lose his. Johnny Depp lost his suit with the Sun.
Suit against the Sun in the UK. There's another lawsuit in Virginia, which God willing he will win. I've been following this for a couple of years now. I don't know.
Can you enlighten us on some of the reasons why Johnny Depp has really been screwed over in this, and why Amber Heard because a lot of us have been looking at this from the inside out, have been thinking like, oh, at first, yeah, Amber Heard, okay, she was abused by Johnny Depp, in the midst of the Me Too movement, and it cost him Jack Sparrow. Okay, that's a little fucked up. But with that said, as the evidence has come out over the recent years, we have obviously seen more and more evidence as to, Amber Heard, being more of the manipulative abuser, cutting off his finger and just really nasty shit like that.
That she brought to the world, like the thing that she had sent out to you at TMZ, this edited video that showed Johnny banging on the kitchen cabinets, right? Because he's about to hit her, right? And then the actual video shown in court was the full video that had been edited, which she had created. She set up a camera because Johnny had essentially tripped and hurt himself. He'd injured himself. And he go, damn it! And when we hit it, we get, oh my god! I stubbed my toe. He hit the wall. It wasn't about her. And then he sees her taping. He's like, what the hell are you doing? And he walks out, and then we see her pick up the camera and smiling. I got him, right? I got the footage that I'm going to edit to make it look like he was trying to hit me, right? So this is a very sociopathic and dangerous person, okay? I've heard from multiple friends who have worked with her or have their friends have worked with her, and they keep using the same phrase. This is the most evil person I have ever encountered in Hollywood. And there's bad people in Hollywood. And they're like, that word keeps coming up. This is an evil person. I would never work with them again. I need to stay far away from them. There's something very dangerous about her. And she's extremely beautiful. And so Johnny Depp, like all the rest of us dudes, like, all right, that sounds good to me. I'm going to go with it, right? And then got himself into a nightmare. With regard to this particular situation in the UK, I'm a former attorney, right? I'm not a British attorney, but I'm a former U.S. attorney, right? Or not, as in the United States, not a U.S. federal attorney, right? But I wasn't working for the FBI, Justice Department. But looking over at the actual judgment that this UK judge did, there was no jury in this trial. It is the most egregious, shocking thing I've ever seen. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. It's literally, he basically says, I have all this evidence that proves she is lying, and I'm not going to believe any of it. I'm just going to, whatever she says, I will accept. And whatever Johnny Depp says, I will deny. And everything else I choose to believe is unreliable. All of it. The mountain of evidence, And it leads you to wonder what is going on here. Now, I am a little bit of a conspiracy theorist, and Ms. Heard has been in a relationship with Elon Musk, right? I don't know either of these people. It would not shock me if wealthy people got financial incentives to make things go a certain way, because the deeper you look into Ms. Heard's life, the more you could expose wealthy people who've been in relationships with her and create drama that they don't want, right? That's a very real thing that happens in the world. The other thing, and I've talked to UK attorneys about this, which is because they've also said this is the most egregious opinion we've ever seen in UK justice. We've never seen anything like this, where the judge just dismisses all evidence and just goes, I'm going to believe this woman, even though I even admit in my thing that she has lied in other cases, and that she has lied on court. I've admitted that. And I'm just going to choose to believe her, right? And so they have said one of the other issues is that British justice has become incredibly woke in the last few years, particularly on gender issues. In the British government, there's been an aggressive push on gender issues, even more than in the United States, right? They have pushed some very, in my opinion, on the extreme end of the trans discussion, right? They have pushed it further than trans rights have been pushed by trans activists in the United States. And that's what J.K. Rowling, who's a liberal feminist, has said, literally, I can't even say a woman's a woman anymore, right? And she and Depp are friends. And so the very fact that Rowling...
Even the liberals have like a line that they won't cross. Yeah, and maybe that should be a message to people like, hey, maybe we're going too far.
Yeah, if you want to support people in the trans community, I mean, there's healthy ways to do it. And this is what people in the trans community who are not on the extreme edge of it are saying, which is like, denying that there's, literally in the UK, you can deny now that sexuality is real, that there are actually people are born with a sex, right? And you can get you fired for that. And that's like, okay. But then trans people say, well, I'm transitioning from one to another, so obviously there is a sex. Transitioning, right? So there can't be that there is no. So setting all that aside, the UK judiciary and the UK government has been aggressively woke, has been aggressively ideological, and a lot of them, some UK lawyers said to me, is they're trying to get same thing in Hollywood. They're trying to cover up who they are. Hollywood, everyone is these rich sort of guys who are making sure their accountants get their taxes down to 5% a year, complaining about, we got to tax more rich people, just not themselves. The hypocrisy of Hollywood is all the hypocrisy of the judiciary of the UK, which is these are all Oxford, Cambridge elites who are very conservative, and so they go out of the way to look very liberal, right? And so maybe a factor as well. I believe he will be ultimately vindicated in the Virginia trial.
Well, I hope so.
I think so as well.
Yeah, Rob really wanted to talk about this, so I'm going to express what he has said in the comments. He really wanted to talk about this before he left, but he said she punched him, crapped in the bed, put a cigarette on his cheek. Red flag, and what the fuck? Amber beat up her sister, attacked her ex. He has over 50 videos on this subject alone.
Jesus.
And she's
absolute BS. And this harkens onto something that Rob, I know. Hopefully you're still watching. And hopefully I don't speak out of term. I do think that he's had experiences with this where he's been abused, but where it's like it goes back to a Dave Chappelle joke. I think I know the one that I think you guys know what I'm referring to. Is that if it's a straight couple, with a man and a woman, it's domestic abuse. But if it's two gay guys, it's like two guys duking it out.
But in her case, she actually abused her female partner, right, and was arrested by a lesbian woman cop, who then she said, well, she's anti-LGBT. It's like, I mean, she's gay herself. So this is a pathologically dangerous person, right?
Not gay enough.
Not gay enough. It's like, I'm black enough, not gay enough. And so this is a pathologically dangerous person, right? We won't get into the positive, but we did. But this is and so it is reflective of how Hollywood is still terrified of going up against the woke crowd. They all know what she is. I've heard about her for years, right? And they all know she's not going to be good if she continue for their money if she continues Aquaman 2. They're hoping, that this thing will just go away, and then maybe they can do a couple scenes to fulfill her contract in Aquaman 2. I don't think she will be in the movie. I think by next year, with the Virginia trial, it's going to be such a big thing, especially because it's not going to be, I believe it's a jury trial, and the average person isn't going to believe this nonsense, just like we're not believing this nonsense, right? And so that's not going to be good for anyone wanting to hire her. It's bad PR.
And I want to ask just one more question on. You had a question?
Matt
had a.
Yeah. Just two things. One, the reason why it always seems like they're pushing that line further and further, like with the trans rights and with even pedophiles, like everything, they just keep pushing that line is because it's about challenging the meta narrative. It's about who decides what is true and who gets to learn what is, or gets to say what is true. It goes back to post modernism and deconstruction, and so that's so you see them pushing that line further and further. And part of the problem, I don't know, Cam, I mean, this is your area, but like it seems as though this has been pushed on college campuses for a long time now. But the people that have been inundated with all of the critical theory and gender and race and everything, colonialism, they've graduated now. They've worked their way up, and now they're in a position to make these changes. So it coincides with that same time frame of now they're in a position to make changes. I know personally, for me, the big change that I saw happen was in was Ferguson. I was a cop at the time, and I remember when that happened, overnight, everything we did changed from the way we police, just immediately, and it was just crazy. I mean, not only the way we worked, but the just the way people interacted with us. It was just this immediate switch to this hostile just interaction in any situation, and I work nights over weekends, so I'm already going into situations where people are going to be drunk or high or whatever, and it brings us up on like you have the escalation scale, right? You always want to go in lower than what you need because you can go from 1 to 10 as quickly as you draw on your gun. You're done. You're at a 10, right? But it's harder to work back down.
Yeah.
But with everything that's happening as far as BLM and with police and all of that, it puts everyone at a higher level than what is necessary, or even what used to be going into the situation. So in all of this with Depp in the UK and everything that's going on now, it all blends in together and it's all woven together, and it's just all a part of the same weird movement with the critical theory.
And what we're going to see, however this election plays out over the next few weeks, I will suggest that it's going to play out over the next few weeks. I think the idea that this has been resolved is false. But however it plays out, the next several years is going to be a major culture war that is going to be about returning to some level of middle ground normalcy against very extreme political ideologies that are being fed to us by elites, right?
I've already noticed that.
Yeah.
I've already noticed that with Facebook friends, saying like, one person said like, maybe Democrats and Democratic candidates and liberals should reevaluate their approach to all this. I'm like, you couldn't have figured that out 4 years ago.
Well,
like that could have solved so many issues. Like
that's actually being now said. And again, I don't want to drag into the election in, but that was actually said today in the congressional. Now they're trying to, Democratic Party is trying to figure out, okay, we think we've won these seats. There's still a few to be determined, but we didn't win what we thought. We thought we were going to expand, and we've lost a bunch of seats. And then Congressperson said out loud in the call that was leaked out. It was just this afternoon. That it's, we got to reassess where we were. I mean, all these things were lost because we went to this woke place that our constituents aren't at, and we got to pull back. And then Ms. Pelosi, argued with that. But I'm saying that conversation is now happening culturally. It's going to happen in the media over the next several years because their goal was to get this guy out. That's both true in politics and both true in the industry that I work in, Hollywood, right? And whether they got this guy out or not is to be seen. But now they're going to have to figure out, because the process of getting this guy out has revealed a very dumb situation they put themselves in with the rest of society.
Yeah, like you can, and I think we're coming up on 2 hours now, and we're about to wrap it up now. And I know you got to go. We all got to do things, and this has been a really fun stream. But the one thing that I will just kind of end on this is that this isn't news to people who have been paying attention. It's been news to people who have been so blindly anti-Trump that they can't even see past their own fist. It can't even. It's like they're very, if at best nearsighted. They're not farsighted. They're not seeing. They're not interacting with people because they force them all out.
Disconnected from society and, in my industry, from the audience, because they're projecting an idea about what people are onto those people rather than actually engaging them.
Well, that's with Hollywood. That's with the viewers, and we understand that Hollywood's behind the curves, by a few years at the very least. I don't know if that's been your experience always. They've always been behind the curve, always.
Well, Hollywood is always behind the curve, right? I mean, it's funny because they think they're being progressive. Remember Will and Grace was on in the 90s, and I think already there had been major acceptance of gay people in people's lives by then. I don't think I don't know. I
wouldn't say
not
that.
sure there, but Will and Grace was the revolution. It might have been, but I do feel it's often behind the curve of things, in my experience.
Yeah, I would give an exception to Will and Grace because there are certain parts of the country that were. We're not going to get into that, but
that's a whole nother stream.
Yeah, that is a whole other stream. But
by the way,
I
what
do
you're
feel
saying,
like. What I'm trying to say is that, regular people, the people who I went to college with, who are, left wing fucking weirdos sometimes. Yeah, I'm having a hard time trying to say it because it's just
left wing.
It really makes me angry sometimes, when people don't listen to somebody else. They don't listen to the other side, whether they agree with it or disagree with it. It's very infuriating, and I'm sure you've gotten that. I'm sure everybody in this chat has gotten it. By the way, thank you for sticking around. It's been a good 2 hours. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, very.
And at the end of the day, what this election has taught us is that this country is much more split than you thought. And I think that this is, whether Joe Biden or Donald Trump wins, you're going to get a more nuanced country. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe people will finally understand that half the people that they talk to, just disagree with them, and you shouldn't just blindly disagree with them. You should, talk to them, understand why they don't vote the same way that you do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That'll be a good thing. It will be a good thing. I do think the next few years are going to be painful in many ways. In many ways, more painful than the last 4 years. I think there's going to be a lot more stratification. But I do believe out of that, we will start evolving towards a more mature place as a nation. We went through a lot of really crazy stuff over the last decade and certainly over the last 4 years. And I think we need to now get past an immature understanding of ourselves and our neighbors and start getting to more closer to reality.
Madmartigan. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say you were just talking. I'm gonna make it quick because my food should be here soon. But when you were talking about people won't listen, it's because the hardest truth to hear is the one you already know. Think about it. If you have a friend and the friend's wife, boyfriend, whatever is cheating on them, and they don't always accept it when you tell them because they already know, and they don't want it to be real. Because once you make it real, once you can convince people that, let's say for an example, Trump is actually did a pretty good job in the 4 years. What they don't want to accept it, because if they listen to it, then it becomes real, and then everything that they believed it's disproven, right? And the problem, and this happens a lot in religion as well, is when it gets so tied into how you identify as a person that any attack on ideals that you may have is an attack on you personally, and they can't separate the two.
And I've said that the current thing, both in the politics and in Hollywood, is that it has become
Absolutely.
this is a religion we're dealing with, and and I would argue religion.
Yes.
You can't even question. Is this lockdown actually the right thing to do? You can't even question it. And in Hollywood, I've said it. I've made people incredibly tense and like get ready to hang up on the phone when I've said maybe we don't need to wear masks. Maybe we don't. Maybe look at Sweden, whatever. It's literally as if you are saying you should go worship the devil. I mean, just having that conversation shuts it down.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, well, on that note, gentlemen, I do need to start heading out. So I want to thank you all. And forgive me, Matt. I think I've interrupted you a few times. And Dean, if I ever interrupted you, please forgive me. Sometimes I just get so excited. I just keep talking.
Yeah. No, I get it.
All do it to each other.
No, it's okay.
I love your toys. You got some good stuff there.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here, and we're gonna start off with Kamran. Tell us what you got going on about your website and everything.
Sure. Yeah. So, it's for those I'm a filmmaker and I'm a novelist. I've got a couple of novels published. If you're interested in historical fiction, one on the Crusades, one on sort of the early years of Islam and the expansion of the Islamic Empire. And you can find those novels on my website, which is my name, KamranPasha.com. And I've got several TV shows I'm working on right now that have been sort of slowed down by the current environment that we're in. But I'm developing a TV show sort of set in the world of the Ottoman Empire. Another one that's set in sort of the days of the Mughal Empire and the guys who built the Taj Mahal. So I do these kinds of historical epics, and I hope when they're ready to go, I'm hoping to come back on the channel and talk about them.
Well, absolutely, and I'm very, very happy that you took your time to join us today. Very happy about that.
Yeah, I hope we can do this again because I just saw it because I Googled you that you were involved in Sleeper Cell. I loved Sleeper Cell, dude. I hope I can be on a stream with you again sometime so I can just talk to you about Sleeper Cell.
Do a stream. I'm happy to do a stream about the show. Just drop me a DM or whatever. I'm not sure if you're following me or I'm folling you on Twitter, but let's get in contact. Yeah.
Absolutely. And speaking of which, go ahead.
Yeah, please. Mad, you're up.
Oh, me? No, like Cam's really more interesting and has a lot better stuff going on than I do. Like, don't waste your time here. Go on to Cam.
Okay.
Oh, and
Cam,
I'm already done. Like that, and I guess we go to Dean now. Yeah.
Anyways, we love you, Mad. You're a great guy.
Am I still here?
And hopefully this has been Dean approved. Dean.
Yes.
Sorry.
It started out light outside where you were, and now it's dark.
Yes. It is 6:10 where I am now. All right, so we're talking about... Go ahead? Okay. So on my channel, we talk about... We do reviews on movies, TV shows, video games, and occasionally we talk about the drama behind the scenes. And it's all in an effort to discover if our entertainment is Dean approved.
Dean approved.
He does it better than me. Sadly. But what's been going on with me, I just released a couple of videos a few days back, if you noticed. I did a review on the war with Grandpa and Mandalorian season 2, episode 1. I get into spoilers after my my grade, and you'll get to know my opinion on it fully afterwards. Things that are going on lately. I don't have a video honestly up, but I have been playing a lot of video games. Particularly, I got Dragon Age Origins. I've been playing. What else have I been playing? I've been playing Mortal Kombat and The Witcher 3. So yeah, Lethal Lightning would be happy about that. Anyway, that's me.
Great. My name is Justin Proper. You can catch me at every single This Week in Bullshit stream on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. And this Saturday, we're going to have a one-off Council of Jeremy's reunion at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be great. And you can count on a couple of Mandalorian review streams
Oh yeah, that's the night.
Not streams. No, you're gonna have regular videos. Fuck that. Fuck streams. No, you're gonna have a lot of regular videos. It's gonna be really great.
Yay.
I'm gonna get to those pretty soon. So yeah. At any rate, this has been so much fun. I'm just sort of in awe that Cameron, thank you so much for your time and everything. And yeah,
it's all good. I hope everyone has a great time. And the last thing I'll say is, look, we're in a crazy world right now. Try to keep your relationships. I've had some people that have been very angry with me in my politics the last few days. I burned a few bridges, lost a couple of friends, unfortunately. Let's do our best to preserve our relationships right now, because this thing's eventually going to be settled, and we're still got to deal with each other. And so let's move forward with mutual respect if we can.
Yep.
Nah, I say we burn it all down.
People believe that too.
How dare you? How dare you? Anyways, hopefully everybody is good. Live long and proper, and have a
This week in bullshit. Are we not doing that, Justin?
I don't know what that is.
Doing what?
This week in bullshit. We all chant it. All right. Well, fuck it. We'll just sit here awkwardly while you try to figure out how to end the stream. I've been drinking.
I think we're done.
Anyway. That works.
That works. That shockwave I don't like, but it works.
Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great fucking night. And also just just hug everybody and consensually.
Just hug everybody.
Yeah, hug everybody consensually and fuck it. Good night.
All right, guys.
Well, thanks to the lame ass security, I'm going home.